Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report, and starting with the ASX 200 here. So on the daily chart here, we've either got this up for wave 1 here, and we're looking for an A and a B and a C back for wave 2, or we have a top in play and we'll be coming much further down. We don't really have to concern ourselves about this wave 5 here just yet. If this area here, the 6,000 area here, becomes a retested resistance, then this will become the dominant count. At this stage here, we're looking at this particular little pattern in through here, and yeah, let's go in and explore this a little bit further. So on the 4-hour chart here, I was looking at we were looking at all of this as being a corrective pattern here, and then we're looking for 5 waves to move down through here into the C wave here, a bit lower in here. But the problem with this is that the move down through here is only in 3 waves and not 5, so I thought we may have down for wave 1, back for wave 2, down for wave 3, 4 and 5, but we've got 3 waves in here. We've also got 3 waves in here on the cash market too. So if I look at the 15-minute chart, that move that I was just talking about, I can see we've got 1 and 2 and the 3rd wave here, the 4th and the 5th. So we've got 5 waves in this first leg, then a correction, then another 5 here. So it leaves us with 3 waves, especially now because this has moved back above this high here. It makes this 3 waves here. So, and this little move up here appears to be 5 waves up here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then jumping up here, or it could be up for 1, back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2 and jumping up here. Yeah, it leaves this one here in a bit of a dilemma really. So what I was sort of thinking is that this particular B wave here, or wave 2 depending on the top here, may not be completed. So we may end up with a situation where this comes across here further. All of this here is just the A wave here, a complex A wave, a simple B wave, and then we go up for 5 waves here. To complete the B wave here, or wave 2 here. So I think that that's a possibility. I mean, the markets were down overnight, but this has already been priced in here. So yeah, just got to kind of figure this out a little bit. We need to get some more price action here to sort of see where we are with this particular pattern here. So yeah, I'm not sure sort of what to do. In this case here, it does appear to be 5 waves up here if we go into this here. I mean, if we do move up here, we'll be looking for the 61.8% retracement level, so the top there, the 62.70 sort of area. On the 1-hour chart here, the move down here, so we've had it. I was labeling it wave 1 and 2 before. Well, wave 1 over here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then down for 3. We're looking for it to come back into the 50 area here and then move down here. But it does appear that we've got a nice 5-wave structure up here now, with an A and a B and a C correction coming back into the 61.8% mark. If this this move here is in 3 waves, as you can see, like down, correction, and then down, if this moves down here, which is highly likely as well, then we'll have 5 waves down here. And if we have 5 waves down here, we're going to meet some sort of demand on these old lows here, aren't we? So we're likely to get some sort of correction back up here, 50-60%, and because we would have 5 waves here, if that was going to be the case, then we'd have that correction here, and then we would have another 5 coming down through here. So yeah, I mean, maybe even this whole correction here can be also labeled a bit differently, with the A wave here, the B wave, the B wave here, and the C wave here for the B wave. I just don't know. So we just need to tread carefully here. If the 62 here becomes the support, then we can go along from that point. So it's really got to do with this. If the market drops here, then you'll know that we have 5 waves here, and we'll because we know we've got 5 here, then we're going to get 3 here, and then we're going to come down again. So that's really all I can say about this at this stage. with this. If this market just pushes up from here and starts to get support on here, then you can look at going long on top of the 72 here, 61.72 here. I've got it here technically. If the market moves up through that green line at that point, then it makes this wave 3 waves. It technically cements that in. So then we can go long from that point. And we can look at this as wave 1, ABC for wave 2, and then we'll look at 3, 4, and 5 coming up into the 61.8% area here. But that's only if it takes this out here. Obviously the markets are in the red, so especially some of the other Asian markets. So it's likely to move lower from here. So yeah, just to recap this a little bit, I'm not sure of the whole correction. This move up here appears to be 5 waves, and this appears to be 3 waves so far. But as a C wave here, this is rather sharp. C waves are normally more of an angle here. So if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, then you know that we've got a bearish move here, and then we're going to get 3 waves up from that point. Okay, so just watch for that first of all. Okay, moving on to the other markets. So going to go to China first. So on the daily chart here, I've had this down as a bit of a corrective move down with either wave 3 here or wave C here as an A and a B and a C here for wave C here. But because of Hong Kong's move down quite a lot, then I think China's going to follow it down. So this is one of the counts that we've had here for China on this is a daily chart. And looking at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave moving back up to here. So what I wanted to see here first is I wanted to see if we get 5 waves down here, and if we do, then we get a retest here, then we can look to go short here. Right, we can go to short on the retest. At the same time too, for whatever reasons, if this top gets taken out here, we need to go long from that point there as well. So really we're just trying to figure out in terms of, this is the level here, the 11,500, which is a medium level, and it's halfway between 2 major levels. So in this case here, the 10,000 and the 13,000 here. So that's why it sits there, and yeah, we want to see if it becomes support or resistance at this stage. Now, this is the China one here is the A150. Normally we would look to the Shanghai comp or the A shares to have a look at this market in the bigger picture, but I'm going to have a look at Hong Kong in the bigger picture. So I have to do that on the trading levels charting program because I've got more data on that, which I get this data from Just Data in Queensland, and yeah, so this is the Hong Kong, the Hang Seng here, and this from this high here, we've got the GFC here in this particular instance here. So this is like some of the other Asian markets. This is also like Australia as well, because Australia hasn't taken out that top there. It has in some of its stocks, like CBA has, really given us a nice big strong move higher up here in line with the US markets. But this market in Australia really sort of have been stuck here. So all of this here can be labelled as a top here of a 3rd wave here, then all this is the A wave here, and then an A, and then an A and a B and a C here for the B wave. So an A and a B, and then the C wave up here. Now this C wave up here, I was counting it as a top of a 3rd wave here and a 4th wave back here. I know that we can count it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then an extension in the 5th wave here. But I was thinking to myself, well, it doesn't really have the right look and feel about it, in this instance. So I'd always consider this wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, and then this was the 3rd wave we were looking for moving up here. But in that market moving up here from the 3rd wave here, we'd look for a 38.2% retracement level, which is back here. So we're much lower than that here. So it's quite possible that that we do have a top in play here. So if I come to the Hong Kong market here on this charting program, which is pro real-time charting program, so Hong Kong here. So then it would be the Hang Seng. It would be labelled like this here, with a wave 3 here, an A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave here for the B wave, and then we come all the way down here for a C wave. So that's how complex this wave 4 can be here. The other way to look at this too, I guess, is that we can have this rearranged in a slightly different way, where we have this as wave 4 over here, and then we have this would make, let me think for a second, no, this has got to go over here for wave 4 here, so this makes this the A wave. Let's move that one out of the way, an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave here with wave 4 here, and then we have, copy this here and have wave 5 finished here. That's the other count that can occur here, and we have a top in place here for this already. So I actually don't know. So what I've been doing with all of this is that you know, for this to really fall out of bed, I'd need to see all the other markets do the same as well, to a point. But what I have been doing is just been counting this down, you know, counting this down through here. This is the 50-60% retracement level here on 25,000 from this low to this high here. So I really just wanted to see how this leg here was going. So first of all, I started to count it in a corrective move coming down through here. But now it's going to move down further into this space, then we'll probably, and it's moving past the, I mean, this is here, this is where you can see that, you know, if this was going to count 5 waves from here up to here, then it would count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then all of this is a 5th wave here. But normally, this being really long here, you would just normally look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and look at all of this as a 3rd wave, and then look at the 38.2% retracement level. So even at an extreme here, from this point here to this point here, you can see that we've already moved through it. It's become the resistance now, and this has moved down here. So because it's moving down here, you know, I can allow it to go to the 50%, but moving down to the 61.8% mark here. And also too, it really should be taken from this low, not this one here. So it creates a little bit of a you know, a dilemma in this case. So we really probably need to switch over to more of a bearish count in this case coming down here. Now, in terms of the market actually coming down here further, that's okay, but we'll work with that if we get the 25,000 as the retested resistance. Now, it's okay for this market to you know, come down and bounce and move through here and, you know, do a whole building process through here. And move up from there. But if it becomes the resistance at this point and drops, well, then we'll have to look at that coming down here further, okay? So on the daily chart here, so we were looking at it as a 3rd wave up here, but because it's got our 38.2% now as resistance here, and I was allowing this to be down here because it's dropped so far here. I mean, if it picks up from here and goes straight back up, well, then I'll be okay with that. But taking this low out here, then we really need to look at this as a bigger bearish picture here. So the bigger bearish picture, we'll look at this as wave 1 here, and wave an A and a B and a C here for wave 2, down for wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, down for 1 and back for 2, so down for 3 here and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave. The 4th wave here may be it's a bit small in its own right here, so it may get a bit more complicated. So what we're going to do here is just simply wait for this to find support in this area down here, and if it comes back up in a corrective wave here, well, then we can look to short it from this way. Otherwise, we'll have to put this wave 4 over here and allow it to play out a little bit further before we get wave 5 coming down for this wave 3 low here. So Yeah, all in all, a bit of a bearish change has occurred here, and it's occurred in India first, but it seems to be soaking up into these markets here too. So, yeah, I'll just leave that at that, and we'll move on to Japan. So, Japan here has also fallen out of bed here a little bit as well, and this is the count that we've had with this market here. So we've looked at this as wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and looking up for, you know, quite a big bullish market to the upside here. So it's going to be interesting to see if Japan continues this or not. We were counting this up here, well, far as I can see, is correctly 5 waves up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2, 5 waves up here for wave 3. We're looking for wave 4 to pull back. So we want wave 4 to stabilize at the 38.2% retracement level or thereabouts, so 38.2, 40%. So we want it to stay reasonably where it is at the moment. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on that, and then if we get this up here, we'll be sort of on track with that. So I still want to go into this intraday chart here. So we were looking at wave 1 and wave 2, and then counting 5 waves up here for wave 3 and ABC here for wave 4 here, and at this stage here it's pulled back to the 38.2% retracement level. It's given us an ABC correction here. What we do need to be mindful of now, we just wait, because we won't go long again because the other markets are a little bit bearish. We have to wait till we get support on the 24,000 before we go long. Otherwise, if everything was rosy, then we'd buy on this low here, but we're not going to do that. So what we need to see here is, what we don't want to see here is a little move up here for wave 4 and then wave 5 down here. If we get 5 waves down here, then we're going to get 3 waves back here, and then we're going to get another 5 down here, which is going to bring us down too low at that particular point. And we'll have to go back and reassess this situation here. But I'm happy with this count unless it's going to do something really weird here. So in a nutshell, with the Nikkei, we want to see 24,000 as a support so we can go long again up to the 25. So we just need to wait here in this case. In India, we've seen more of a bearish picture emerge here as well. So on the daily chart yesterday, we were talking about, this is the same, I mean, Japan's got the same thing as well, really, because, we were counting 5 waves up through here, but it looks like we've got a top in, but I can only count 3 waves up here. So we have to look at this as an A wave here, a B wave over here, and then a C wave coming down into here. So, yeah, we just need to count this structure moving down. So we can expect the Nifty to come down to 10,000 and below. And in that count coming down through here, if I just go to the 4-hour chart first. So it counts down from the top here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, very neat and tidy. Then wave 2, and then wave 1 and 2 here. And then I'm calling this the low in here for wave 3 here, and whoops, we're missing wave 4, so I'll just copy that and chuck that in there. I think we've got an extension in the 5th wave here, but I've probably made a mistake on that. We'll have to go back with that, because I mean I can put 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to this point here as I had it before, but then that would leave this as blue wave 3 and then blue wave 4 here. It's such a small correction, you know, for blue wave 4. So I don't think that's the case. So I just want to map this out slightly different, where we have this down as wave 1 and 2 here, because it looks like a wave 2 because it's sharp, you know, and then look down for 5 waves here. So we've got 1 and 2, and we'll be dancing across the 10,500 area here for a little bit before we see another drop down into the 10,000 here, which would give us wave 3 at this point. So the extension's still in wave 3, but it's in the 5th wave rather than the 3rd wave. Once we've got that in play, we'll look for the 4th wave here and then the 5th wave to come down here further. Okay, the 1 hour chart will give us a little bit more detail, but so from wave 4 here, we've got 5 waves for 1 and back for 2, then 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 and 5 here. I haven't pulled all this apart here, I just haven't had time this morning to do that. But like I said, expect a bit of a dance across the 10,500. And once you've got that reference point low in here, if we get a bit of a dance across here in one way or another, we've got that reference point low, well then you can use that to short down to 10,000 at that stage. Alright, that's 20 minutes for this video, a little bit long, but we just had to get through a few changes within all of that. So thanks for tuning in and enjoy the weekend.